Good afternoon, Nasa Sahab.
नमस्कार नमस्कार
Hello, good
कैसे हैं?
afternoon. बस बहुत
नमस्कार।
अच्छे हैं सर. Thank you so much.
Good, good.
Nice to see you, sir. Nice to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Sir, can we start? Good afternoon, everyone. We all know today we have gathered in this webinar amidst of this pandemic to celebrate the 59th National Pharmacy Week, assigned to the love of our soul, the pharmacy, with the theme of frontline healthcare professionals, to thank and acknowledge all the pharmacists and pharmacy sectors who are working tirelessly during this time of great uncertainty and challenges. We have been the frontline workers in this pandemic. With this brief about, I would like to move forward and introduce two great personalities present here to enlighten all of us. I feel gratified and privileged to mention these two names: Mr. Atul Kumar Nasa, Deputy Drug Controller at Drugs Control Department, serving the Government of NCT of Delhi, India, an esteemed officer with more than 25-year experience in the enforcement of drug laws, awarded the Best Drug Control Officer Award 2017. We feel privileged to have you today, sir. I heartily welcome to you and thank you for your presence. And then we have
Thank you.
Professor Dr. Satish Kumar Sharma, Vice Chancellor of the Global University, Saharanpur. Now, I would like to request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Satish Kumar Sharma, sir, to give a warm welcome to our guest, prestigious Mr. Atul Kumar Nasa, sir, on this platform. Sir, please.
So, on behalf of faculty, staff, and management of Global University, I accord a warm welcome to you, Nasa sir. And we are really delighted and pleased to have you on the show. So we all feel motivated and inspired by your gracious presence here. And and it's my pleasure to read your brief profile as well. So, dear friends, Suruchi, please unmute all. Suruchi, please unmute all.
Sir, all our viewers, no can interfere here, sir.
Okay, good. So,
Okay,
it's my pleasure to read a brief profile of Mr. Nasa Sahab. Mr. Atul Kumar Nasa, he is Deputy Drugs Controller with charge of controlling and licensing authority at the Drugs Control Department in Delhi government. And currently he is the head of office of the Drugs Control Department with the Delhi government at the National Capital Territory of Delhi. And I'm glad to share here that Mr. Nasa, Atul Kumar Nasa, is also the president of Indian Pharmacy Graduates Association and managing trustee of IPGA Welfare Trust. Mr. Atul Kumar Nasa has been awarded several times. Many distinguished awards are into his credit, and I would like to name a few of them. He has been awarded as the Best Drugs Control Officer Award in 2017, instituted by All India Drugs Control Officers Confederation. And very recently, he has been awarded with Professor M.L. Shroff Memorial National Award 2019 by IHPA. And I am also delighted and glad to share here that Mr. Atul Kumar Nasa ji has organized 4 Indian Pharmaceutical Congress. This is a big achievement on his part. It shows his high quality leadership qualities. So he's an excellent leader. He organized 53rd, 60th, 65th, and 70th Indian Pharmaceutical Congress. So he has been accorded Fellowship of Indian Pharmaceutical Association, considering his hitherto entire professional trajectory in the field of pharmacy and drugs regulation. Both the recognitions were given to him during the inaugural session of the 69th Indian Pharmaceutical Congress. Then he has around 28 years of experience in drug control department. And according to the reports from ADCO, Mr. Nasaji's leadership qualities, cooperative attitude, admirable acumen in all the sectors of pharmacy, and the spirit of undying professional fraternity were recognized while he was elected to the post of President of the Indian Pharmaceutical Congress Association in the year 2013. So, and further, Mr. Atul Kumar Nasaji, I am remembering the name of S.L. Nasaji also simultaneously as he was my teacher actually. So, Mr. Atul Kumar Nasaji presented several papers at national and international conferences and also chaired various scientific sessions. Mr. Nasaji was elected as an associate of Institute of Chemists in 1988 and subsequently awarded fellowship of the said institution in 1993. Then Mr. Nasaji was also awarded Best Drugs Inspector Award at Mumbai by All India Drugs Control Officers Confederation for his outstanding and sincere contribution to drugs control organization in November way back. Okay, so there are so many awards. I will sum up that Mr. Nasaji is one of the top figure in the pharmacy profession. He is a legend in pharmacy profession. And lastly, I am proud to reveal that Mr. Atul Kumar Nasaji was my classmate, my batchmate, and he's alumnus of DIPSAR, Delhi University College of Pharmacy. So it's really an honor for me that my wonderful friend has achieved such dizzy heights in pharmacy profession. So with these few words, I will cordially invite Mr. Atul Kumar Nasaji to deliver his session. Please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Satish. I'm audible?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Satish, for my nice introduction. And in his introduction, Dr. Satish has told that we are batchmates. Still, I remember the time when we studied together in pharmacy college long back in the year 1983. It was a very good journey. And then my journey started from pharma industry, that is IDPL, followed by teaching in DIPSAR, that is College of Pharmacy. Earlier it was known as College of Pharmacy. Now it is DIPSRU University. And then I joined in 1992 in Drug Control Department, Delhi. And likely what he has told, I am now the head of the Office of Drug Control Department, Delhi. This is my journey. Thanks to Dr. Suruchi also for brief introduction. And at the outset, my special congratulations to Global University. Now Dr. Satish is the Vice Chancellor there. It is a very proud moment that he is holding a very respectable post of Vice Chancellor. So my special congratulations to University, all the teachers, all the faculty members, all the students of the Global University of Department of Pharmacy for arranging this webinar for young students and faculty members during this pandemic time. We know that entire world is suffering from a disease that is, COVID-19. Hello? Hello?
Hello? Sir, you are audible and visible too, sir.
Now it is okay? Something went
Yes?
wrong.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Some technical issues. Anyways,
Oh,
so I was just discussing that, entire, world and the entire country is suffering from a pandemic that is COVID-19, but there is no need of any worry. Things will be well set, and we are expecting a vaccine which is, will be available to the entire country and the entire world by early 2021, say before March. So we are on the safer side, and since I am working with drug control department into regulations, so we are regulatory monitoring the progress of this vaccine, and we are at a very comfortable stage. Also, the country is celebrating National Pharmacy Week. This is 59th National Pharmacy Week, and the theme of this, National Pharmacy Week is Pharmacist, Frontline Healthcare Professionals. Though I am working with drug control department, I can say I am not a drug controller. I am not the head of the office. I am a pharmacist. This is my, thinking. And pharmacists are playing a very important role in providing safe, efficacious, and quality medicines to the consumer. Now, if you see the background, a physician, a doctor prescribe the medicine, pharmacist dispensing medicine, and patient consume the medicines. So here three P's are there. One is the physician, other is the pharmacist, and other is the patient. But in between these three P, the middle P, that is pharmacist, he is very important because without pharmacist, the physician or the patient, they are totally differentiated. So I can say pharmacist is a carbon-carbon double bond between the physician and the patient. This is how much important role he is playing. Now, if you see the role of pharmacist, because everybody is studying pharmacy as a career, so I can tell you that the role of pharmacist, whether it is a regulatory pharmacist working with drug control department, or a hospital pharmacist, or a community pharmacist, or a clinical pharmacist, or a industrial pharmacist, or the pharmacist working in quality control department, quality assurance department, research and development units, everybody is equally important. Everyone is equally important. Here I can say that if pharmacists working in different streams, there is a lot of scope. The students who are pursuing pharmacy as a career, I can tell you that this is the one of the best course you have chosen. You have got ample opportunities, ample opportunities. You can join pharmaceutical industry as a manufacturing chemist. You can join pharmaceutical industry as a quality control officer. You can join pharmaceutical industry as a quality assurance officer. You can join research and development sections. You can join hospital pharmacy. You can join community pharmacy. You can join clinical pharmacy. You can choose academic as a career. You can do MBA and start your career as a management trainees or in the marketing jobs. You can do LLB, start your career as a advocate. You can set up your own industry for manufacturing of drugs. You can set up your own industry for manufacturing of cosmetics. You can set up your own industry for active pharmaceutical ingredients. You can open your retail business for retail sale of drugs. You can open your wholesale business for wholesale of drugs. You can start medical devices business. You can work in clinical research organizations. All these fields are very wide, very wide, and ample opportunities are available for all the young pharmacists. During this pandemic time, our Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, He has told vocal for local. He has told, he has given emphasis, we should be self-dependent, Atmanirbhar. All these messages given by our Honorable Prime Minister of India, vocal for local, self-dependent or Atmanirbhar, they are playing a very important role, particularly to the pharma industry. Earlier, we used to get active pharmaceutical ingredients, APIs, which are used for the manufacture of drugs and pharmaceuticals. We used to import these APIs from China, but due to the China war issue, due to the COVID issue, there was a stage that we were not able to get, active pharmaceutical ingredients. There was the acute shortage. But thanks to pharmaceutical industry, the pharmaceutical industry worked day and night to manufacture all active pharmaceutical ingredients in the country, and there was no shortage of any life-saving drug in the country. This is how the role of pharmaceutical industry is there. You can see when the ICMR announced tablet SCQS, hydroxychloroquine, can be used for the COVID patients, for the COVID, workers. There was a shortage of hydroxychloroquine. The then president of USA, Mr. Trump, requested our honorable prime minister, they want huge quantity of hydroxychloroquine tablet, SCQS tablet for their country because there was the number of cases of COVID were on rise in USA. Our country, exported hydroxychloroquine tablet to the USA with a huge number, and there was no shortage at all. So I can say India is the pharmacy of the world. We are exporting 60% of our medicines. We are exporting 60% of our formulations to the entire world. When the entire world is seeing to India, particularly related to the medicines, the reason being the cost of these medicines, quality of the medicines which are being manufactured in India, they are the best. Prices are very affordable. So, once these prices are very affordable, so this is an important part. This is how our country is playing an important role in manufacturing quality, safe, and efficacious drugs at affordable prices. And then, just 1 minute. And then, another issue was that once API industry was struggling when we were totally dependent upon China. So the message given by our honorable prime minister, API industry started working very hard. And now API industry is so strong that they are not dependent on China or any other of the country for import of these active pharmaceutical ingredients which are being used for the manufacture of drugs and formulations. So once the pharma industry is strong, once the API industry is strong, once the medical device industry is strong, automatically the number of vacancies, the job opportunities for pharmacy students will be more. They need more, pharmacy students who can work in the pharmaceutical industry, API industry, or in the medical devices industry. Data says that by 2030, as on date, we know we are around 100 billion US dollar country for production of drugs and pharmaceuticals. But by 2030, the vision is that India will be 150 billion US dollars in drugs and pharmaceuticals. So see the growth. Whatever the situation may be, there will not be any recession in the pharmaceutical industry. Pharmaceutical industry is following all GMP guidelines, all GCP guidelines, or GLP guidelines, or QMS guidelines, so as to produce quality products. So this is the role of the pharmacists who are working in the industry, who are working in the research and development sections, who are working in clinical research organizations. I told recently that very soon we are expecting the vaccines which can treat COVID. So all credit goes to the research and development sections and clinical research organizations who are working very hard to develop a new molecule, new vaccine which can be used for the treatment of COVID. And this all credit goes to the pharmacists working in this pharmaceutical industry or R&D units or CRO organizations. So my special thanks to all pharmacists, special congratulations to all pharmacists who are working in these fields. As a pharmacist, you have to play an important role in preventing antimicrobial resistance, AMR. WHO has given a data that most of the population in our country and even in the world, they are suffering from antimicrobial resistance. Antibiotics are not affecting. Reason being why the antibiotics are not affecting, why the antimicrobial resistance is on rise, because we are taking antibiotics, though it is required or not, we start taking antibiotics without the consultation of a doctor by going for the self medication. So remember, as a pharmacist, we have to play an important role to prevent antimicrobial resistance, and the antibiotics should only be used whenever only required. Here, I take an example. Whenever the viral fever is there, in virus, I think no antibiotics is effective. Virus has got its own life, 3 to 5 days. Automatically, the patient will be recovered. So antibiotics are not required. Government of India has amended, Drugs and Cosmetic Act and Rules 1945 by incorporating Schedule H1. Schedule H1 means any category of drug which includes anti-tuberculosis drugs, habit-forming drugs, and latest generation antibiotics. Again, I am repeating anti-tuberculosis drugs, latest generation antibiotics, and habit-forming drugs. These are not to be sold to any of the patient without the prescription of a doctor, and the chemist has to maintain a proper record of that sale of Schedule H1 medicines. He has to maintain a register, and in that register, he has to record the name and address of the patient, contact number of the patient, name of the doctor, quantity of Schedule H1 medicine sold, and these all data can be checked by any of the regulatory officers at any time. Remember, in Drug and Cosmetic Act and Rules 1945, there are prescription drugs which are categorized under Schedule H, Schedule H1, Schedule X. So all these three category of drugs, Schedule H, Schedule H1 and Schedule X, are only to be sold only on the prescription of a registered medical practitioner. But in the case of Schedule H1 drugs, you have to maintain a proper register so that there should not be any misuse of these medicines. In case of Schedule X medicines, barbiturates and their derivatives, and related medicines, you have to keep a duplicate copy of the prescription with you. This is the rule. So remember, as a pharmacist, we can prevent antimicrobial resistance by dispensing Schedule H, Schedule H1, and Schedule X drugs only on the prescription of a registered medical practitioners. As a pharmacist, what do you have to do? You have to prevent drug addiction. You have to prevent drug abuse. अभी आपने देखा पीछे महाराष्ट्र में नारकोटिक कंट्रोल ब्यूरो डिपार्टमेंट हैज टेकन ऑन टास्क so many celebrities which were involved in the misuse of narcotic and psychotropic substances. Drug addiction was on rise. You can see the Punjab case, that movie, that Udta Punjab. So all these category of medicines which are meant for therapeutical use, particularly habit-forming drugs, codeine preparations, diazepam categories, benzodiazepines, hypnotics, sedatives, tranquilizers, which are only meant for therapeutical use. They should only be used whenever it is required, otherwise not. I take an example here, the Corex cough syrup, Fencidil cough syrup, both of which contain codeine as one of the active ingredient. And this codeine, which is available in Corex or Fencidil cough syrup, it is mainly for cough purpose. But people, young generation, start using this codeine preparation as an addiction. I take another example here. Tablets, diazepam, benzodiazepines. Now, whenever the diazepam is prescribed, it is written in the prescription 1 tablet HS. HS means horasomni. So this tablet only is only to be taken at bedtime so that you can get the proper sleep. But diazepam or Valium or benzodiazepines are only prescribed once you are suffering from some insomnia. You are not getting sleep. But you should not be dependent on these benzodiazepines and you start taking these benzodiazepines very frequently. We have got CNS stimulants, amphetamines. Amphetamines are CNS stimulants, but on the other side, they can cause drug addiction. So addiction can be to any part of the thing, whether it is a medicine, you take, some people smoke, which contains nicotine. Now, if you smoke and it contains nicotine, which is an alkaloid, now anybody who's taking, nicotine in the form of smoking, he starts smoking in the early morning hours. Throughout the day, he smokes. Even before going to bed, he smokes. So this is the addiction. We have to stop this addiction. So, as a pharmacist, you have to play an important role by by guiding each and everyone that they should not go for drug abuse or drug addiction. As a pharmacist, you have to play an important role guiding each of your friend, family member, not to go for self medication. Self medication is a big challenge. WHO has given a data that the country is suffering from, a number of cases of diabetic patients, number of cases of hypertension patients, number of cases with cancer. They are on rise. All these are lifestyle disease. These lifestyle diseases are there because sometimes we go for self medications. We have to maintain our lifestyle. This is important. We have to increase our immunity. We have to prevent our health, and that is only possible if we do some physical exercise early in the morning hours, either at our home or in the park or outside our home, by doing some meditation, by doing some yoga, by doing some physical exercise, by going for morning walk or any other activity. So, so about 25 to 30 minutes, these physical activity will prevent all of us from lifestyle disease. WHO has given a surprising data that young generation is suffering from diabetic, young generation is suffering from hypertension. Big challenge to the community. So as a pharmacist, you have to see, you are the motivator, you are the educator. You have to tell each and everyone which is very close to you, that what they have to do, what they have not to do. They should not go for drug addiction. They have to maintain their lifestyle. They have to go for some physical activity. They should not misuse antibiotics and so on. This is all your duties as a pharmacist, because the theme of the National Pharmacy Week says pharmacists are frontline healthcare professionals. Now coming to COVID time, I tell you I'm working in drug control department. Since March 2020 till date, our department is working without any holiday. We are trying our level best to see that all medicines, particularly life-saving drugs, tablet SCQS, masks, sanitizers, PPE kits, and then injection remdesivir, injection tocilizumab, tablet flevinipir should be available to the COVID patients. There should not be any shortage. And you pharmacists are playing a very important role. The pharmacists working in various hospitals, pharmacists working in various dispensaries, pharmacists working in various NGOs are trying their level best to provide all these category of medicines like SCQS, like masks, like sanitizers, like remdesivir, like tocilizumab to all the needy patients. So my salute to all the pharmacists who are working in this COVID time, in this pandemic for the healthcare system. They are playing a very important role in healthcare system. Apart from that, this pandemic has given us a message, an important, important parameter, that though everything is not physically allowed, colleges are not working, everything is going on online, we are attending this webinar online, there will be number of participants. तो हर बुराई के पीछे एक भलाई है. The main advantage of attending these webinars by conducting this webinar online are: number one, this is a time saving; number two, it is a money saving; number three, active participation is there from any number of participants; and number four, we can have as much as webinars which can be used for the upgrading of knowledge of the pharmacy student, which can be helpful for upgrading knowledge of the academic staff, and which can be helpful for each and everyone who are involved in the healthcare system. So this is how the webinars are, playing a important role. But we have to remember that Government of India, Department of Pharmaceuticals, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, State Drug Control Departments, Office of DCGI, Ministry of Home, and Indian Council of Medical Research, they are working very hard by giving different guidelines from time to time, what people has to do and what people has not to do. So we have to strictly follow all these guidelines which are coming from the government sectors, which are coming from the private sectors, for the prevention of COVID and prevention of other lifestyle disease. So if we'll follow all these guidelines coming from the various stakeholders, definitely we all are on the safer side. Apart from that, I can say there is a huge scope of pharmacy profession, huge scope, particularly in the pharmaceutical industry. I have told you, but the pharmacist, as the theme says, they are playing an important role in, number one, in healthcare system. They are playing an important role in ensuring the availability of life-saving drugs to the consumers. They are playing an important role in providing safe, efficacious, and quality medicines to the consumers. They are working and playing an important role in the research and development sections in clinical research organizations by developing a new molecule, that is vaccine. And main important role which they have to play is they have to educate the public, consumers, particularly for maintaining the social distance, particularly for wearing the mask, particularly for what for following the different guidelines. And I can say they are the frontline healthcare professionals. Apart from that, pharmacist has to guide each and everyone for the safe disposal of drugs. Sometimes, whatever the medicines we are using which are expired, we throw these medicines in the garbage, we throw this medicine in the dustbin. And these expired medicines or the unused medicines which are lying at our home, which are not being used, and once we throw in the garbage or in the dustbin, they are eaten by animals. This is one of the reason for antimicrobial resistance. So remember, any expired drug which is there in at our home, which it is to be disposed of very safely. There are the some guidelines, particularly for liquid syrups, for liquid preparations. You can simply throw in the running water in the toilet, and for the solid preparations like tablets, like capsules, you can do land filling. You should not throw in the garbage or in the outer area part. Secondly, if the medicines are not expired, if they are just going to expire, you can return this medicine back to the chemist shop from where you have purchased. But one condition is important: you must be having the copy of the purchase bill. Once you have got the copy of the purchase bill, the chemist or the pharmacy from where you have bought the medicine, he is bound to take back that medicine which is not expired, and he can return that medicine which is unconsumed, which is not expired, back to the distributor, and the distributor will send back that medicine to the manufacturer. who will follow the biodegradable guidelines for the disposal of that unreturned or unconsumed stocks. So remember, disposal of expired drugs, disposal of unconsumed drugs is also very important. So I will not take much time and I can simply say the pharmacy is a best profession. My thanks to Global University for conducting this webinar. We are celebrating, I can say, National Pharmacy Week, although already it is over. It started from, normally it is in the third week of November. So almost it is over. But anyway, this is 59th National Pharmacy Week. The entire country has celebrated or celebrating. And my best wishes to all the young pharmacists attending this webinar that they should be always positive, they should be having some aim, and definitely future is very bright. And pharmacy is a best profession, and at the end of the day, once you complete your course, don't stop your course at the undergraduation level. Do some PG course, that is Master of Pharmacy or MBA or any other course, whichever whatever you feel. Sky is the limit and results are there. So with these remarks, thank you very much, and my congratulations to Dr. Satish, Vice Chancellor, and also to all the faculty members of Global University for inviting me to deliver this talk. I was supposed to give this. I was supposed to give this talk yesterday, but I'm sorry. Yesterday I was occupied in some urgent meeting at Delhi Sachivalaya. So I requested Dr. Satish to reschedule this program, and they have rescheduled it. We will be in touch, and in case of any issues related to pharmacy profession, related to the future of the pharmacy student, you are most welcome to write me at any time without any hesitation. I will be the happiest person to answer your queries. Thank you very much and namaste to all.
Thank you, Nasa sir, for sharing your wonderful experience. Thank you so much, sir. Your words made me remember the lines of Albert Einstein. Information is not knowledge. The only source of knowledge is experience. You need experience to gain wisdom. Thank you, sir. Moving
Thank you
ahead,
very much.
I yes.
So I
Moving
am
ahead,
particularly.
yes,
So I am
yes,
also. I also convey my sincere thanks to you, Nasa Saab,
yes,
for
sir.
sparing your valuable time. Really, your words of wisdom really will benefit the all the budding pharmacists you are listening you here. Thank you so much, and hopefully, as the things will normalize, we will invite you offline as well. It will be our pleasure, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Any
Then
question?
move.
Any question? Any queries?
So, sir,
Any
we are
any question
sir, we
from?
are checking in the chat box, sir. I think
Okay.
there is
Okay.
no query, sir. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you very
Uh,
much.
okay. Moving ahead, I find immense pleasure to introducing our honorable, preeminent, renowned Professor Dr. Satish Kumar Sharma, who had been serving the field of pharmacy since more than 30 years. The Dean of School of Pharmacy, the Vice Chancellor of our local university, and the Chairman of the CEGR Pharmacy Council. He had he has also been the Director of Sundardev Pharmacy College, Ghaziabad. He has the immense experience in the field of pharmacy. With these, please welcome the outstanding personality to share his brilliant thoughts and specialized and amazing experience. Please, sir.
Thank you, Suruchi ji. My today's talk or presentation is dedicated to the budding pharmacist, to the professionals of pharmacy profession, and to the parents who don't know about where to admit our wards. About their career actually. So my today's presentation is dedicated to all pharmacists, all students, dear students who are listening here, and all parents as well who are here, to uh, to tell them, to make them aware, to update them about pharmacy profession and the pharmacist role they are playing in healthcare sector. So I will explain my talk through a presentation. So now I will share my screen. So, am I audible, please? Am I audible? Suruchi ji, am I audible? Hello? Hello, am I audible?
Sir, you are audible, sir. Sir, you are audible.
And my screen is visible, my
Yeah,
screen?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So now I will start my presentation. We are celebrating 59th National Pharmacy Week today, and in that respect, my presentation is related to the role of the pharmacist and the opportunities which a pharmacist has. So basically, my aim through this presentation, I wish to motivate my all these budding pharmacists, especially when they are doing their graduation or diploma course. They are not aware that whether we have chosen this right course or not, whether this program is okay for me or not, what is the future of pharmacy. People, generally the general community, even after doing B Farm, people are not confident enough to trust their profession. So my aim is that people should understand the value of pharmacy and pharmacist. So this is an overview of pharmacy. In pharmacy, basically, pharmacy is rising on these four important pillars. On the left side, this is pharmacognosy. In this, we study the herbal medicine, phytochemistry. Then there is medicinal chemistry, synthetic chemistry. Then we study all these formulations, how they are manufactured in pharmaceutics, pharmaceutical technology. And you can see in the lower part, right side, you can see this eye is dilating and eye is constricting. So it comes in the domain of pharmacology. So pharmacy is anything and everything related to a drug. So what the pharmacy profession actually is? Pharmacy profession is a multi-dimensional and multidisciplinary profession. Multi-dimensional in the sense that it has got so many dimensions. I mean, drug discovery is there, formulation aspect is there, drug regulation. In the subsequent slides, you will come to know how it is multi-dimensional. It is multidisciplinary. When we study pharmacy course at B Pharm level, then we acquire the knowledge of medical sciences, we acquire the knowledge of law, different law, we acquire the knowledge of engineering sciences, we acquire the knowledge of biotechnology as well, microbiology. So it is a multi-dimensional and multidisciplinary profession. Then there are multiple career opportunities. It is an excellent earning potential. It is a trusted profession. Yeah, in US, a survey was conducted, a research was conducted through polling. So polls were there. Through different polling, it was revealed that pharmacy is considered as one of the best profession in respect of trust. It has got trust. People trust on this profession. People have faith on this profession. People treat them as their friend. They can help us in their emergency situation, and it is directly related to the health of the society. This is in brief introduction about pharmacy profession. So so we can sum up that pharmacy is one of the best profession in all aspects. And the role of pharmacist, pharmaceutical care. In the very beginning itself, I have shown this slide for a particular purpose. And this is a new term. This is not a very old term. Previously, the pharmacy profession was, in the meantime, for past 3 decades or 4, it was actually product centric. It was product centric, and now it has focused on patient centric. So in patient centric, we need to know what's the meaning of pharmaceutical care. Pharmaceutical care, through pharmaceutical care, a pharmacist means a community pharmacist, a hospital pharmacist, or a clinical pharmacist will advise and counsel the patient about correct use of the medicines. And his important role is to analyze the prescription. Yes, this is very important role. In the previous times, only the role of the pharmacist was to sell the drugs and just to dispense the drug. But now the important role is, expanding role of the pharmacist is to analyze it carefully, to watch carefully about each and every word which is written on the prescription, as sometimes it happens, many times it has happened that wrong prescription has taken the life of the patient. So pharmacist is an expert in medicine. So based on that expertise, he need to analyze each and every aspect of the medicine. He need to analyze regarding whether these drugs will cause any incompatibility, whether these drugs which are prescribed, are they okay or not, whether these drugs are in sufficient quantities, whether the dosage is okay, whether the time schedule, the dosage regimen is okay or not, whether they can cause drug interactions. So for all these parameters, for all these factors, there is a need to analyze the prescription very carefully. So this is an important, very important task of a pharmacist. So you can see here, it is important part, health education. Pharmacist provides health education. Whenever there is any thing which is misleading in the prescription, which pharmacists think that will harm the patient or will not benefit the patient, then he will suggest the changes in the prescription as well. So the ultimate aim of the pharmacist is to improve the quality of life of the community. I am a pharmacist, yes. I am Vice Chancellor of local university, but before that, I am proud to say that I am a pharmacist, yes. Due to pharmacist, I have achieved so much in the community, in the society, and I have commanded respect due to all this knowledge which I possess regarding medicines. Because people trust me, people can approach to me, they can think about me, they can ask me, they can make a call to me that please help me about this illness. I'm suffering from fever, I'm suffering from pain, backache, body ache, stomach ache. So we people can guide the people everywhere, in family, in friend circle, everywhere we people can guide about medicine. So I am an expert in medicine. I am pharmaceutical care provider. I am the medicine advisor. I am the drug producer. Yes. First, as a community pharmacist, I am providing pharmaceutical care. As a scientist in drug science, in scientist after doing M.Pharm or PhD, then I am doing research in the medicine. I am inventing new drugs. I am discovering new drugs for treating different ailments. And I am drug producer. I am producing whatever pills we are eating. We are taking these. We are taking these pills for different ailments in the form of tablets, capsules, elixir, powders, mixtures, emulsions, in the form of injections. So I am producing all these different drugs. So I am the custodian of the public health. Yeah, it's my duty to take care of public health. I am an important member of healthcare team. So pharmacists are drug information experts. Yeah, being a pharmacist, you ought to be drug information experts. People expect a lot from you. Patients expect a lot from you. They have high regard for you. So this you have to. So onus is on us to gain expertise about drugs. So no one knows more about medications than a pharmacist. This is a general quotation actually. So we have to respect this quotation. Now, is pharmacy for me? So suppose you are parents, if you are studying in pharmacy and you are doubtful, you are confused whether I have selected, whether I have chosen this correct course, correct program or not, then for them I am telling you that you see, you will learn everything being a pharmacist. You will learn how the drugs are discovered. You yourself, after doing M.Pharm and PhD, will go to any, whether you are in academics or whether you are in any drug industry, you can discover the drugs. You can play an important role in drug discovery. Then you know how to relieve the pain. And how do I put life in a medication? This is very important phrase. Doctors give life to the patient by prescribing medicines, but a pharmacist gives life to the medication, gives life to the medicine. The medicine which is saving the life of the patient, that medicine gets life by pharmacist. How? The pharmacist will, through drug designing process, through drug formulation process, through quality control process, he will give life to the medicine, so that this drug previously which was a chemical, It was a pure chemical. Now it has become a golden coin. Now it has become a gold. Gold means a life-savior drug. How a drug produces adverse reactions. Yes, in pharmacy you learn all these things. What are OTC drugs, over the counter drugs? Can I guide the patients on lifestyle? Yes, you can guide the patients. You will feel happy when you will guide something. When you guide about their well-being, when you guide about their health, when you guide about their health sustenance and health maintenance, then the persons will feel happy and you will feel motivated and satisfied. Then is a career in pharmacy right for me? Yes, it is right for you if you have sound scientific and technical skills, if you desire to contribute to the health and well-being of the society through development of medicines and therapies, and if you wish to ameliorate the sufferings by providing a human touch. Yes, this is very important term, human touch. So, you cannot work as a pharmacist. You cannot provide your responsibility. You cannot discharge your duties effectively unless you have an emotional touch with the patient. So, this is very important that you should be emotionally attached to each and every individual in the society. Now, this is about scope of pharmacy. Pharmacy has got, this is scope means multi-dimensional. These are different dimensions of pharmacy. A pharmacist can become community pharmacist. Community pharmacist means the pharmacist who is running a chemist shop in a society, in a community. He is community pharmacist. A hospital pharmacist is working in a hospital pharmacy. Drug control department is working in drug control department as Mr. Atul Kumar Nasa ji. He is working as deputy drug controller through the post of deputy drug controller. He is controlling the drugs, flow of drugs. He is controlling the flow of drugs. He is ensuring that supply chain is maintained. Then in academics, we people are in academics. In academics and research, it is combined, academics and research. When you enter into academics, and then automatically it becomes part of the research as well. So as a researcher in the academics, you can do preclinical studies, you can develop new drugs also, you can do for pre-formulation studies, formulation studies, you can conduct herbal medicine studies, extraction and isolation of these herbals. So in regulatory department, drug control department is same. Marketing is again a very important part, because once a drug is manufactured in the pharmaceutical company, then it needs to be marketed. For this, you should have an expertise about human physiology, pharmacology, everything, so that you are able to convince the physicians. And because once physicians are convinced, only then they will prescribe your medicine to the patients. Then in research, obviously there are research organizations. Then there are in industry also, there are research centers, R&D departments. In industry is the core about pharmacy. So industries are responsible for manufacturing and production of all these drugs in through different formulations. Different formulations means powders, tablets, capsules, elixirs, mixtures, emulsions, solutions, injectables, likewise. Then self-employment. Yes, a pharmacist can start his own chemist shop and start his own pharmacy chain. He can start his own manufacturing unit as well. He can start his own repackaging unit as well. So as IPR consultant, he can work as a pharmaceutical consultant to guide and advise companies regarding new medications, regarding different combinations. So these are different types of so that's why I mentioned in my very first slide that pharmacy is a multi-dimensional profession. So a pharmacist can go anywhere. It depends upon passion, it depends upon liking, it depends upon your choice, and it depends upon your caliber where to go. You can go anywhere in all these nine dimensions. Pharmacists are working, and very good salary is there, and they feel satisfied also. These are all parts of healthcare profession. These are all parts. So through a pharmacist, you are helping the people, to maintain their health, you are helping the people to improve their health. Then these are emerging opportunities. In the last slide, in the previous slide, we saw all these conventional roles of pharmacists. since 4 or 5 decades. Those roles were there. Now, for past 1 decade or so, these are emerging opportunities for pharmacists, CROs, clinical research organizations or contract research organizations. These organizations are meant to give services to pharmaceutical industries or to government regarding conductance of clinical trials. So these contract research organizations, they are technically sound. They are huge human resources, and they have got all types of equipments to perform all these activities. So through CROs, different companies will conduct different types of preclinical studies and clinical studies. In biotechnology, this is again an emerging field. So biotechnology basically means the technology used to enhance the genetic system, to improve or to change by changing the genetic structure, by changing the genes, how you can change the physiology of the system so that one drug can be effective. Plant tissue culture, animal tissue culture are part of biotechnology. Then genomics. So how by changing the genome, by studying the genome, how we can develop new types of drugs. So these are new emerging fields of pharmacy. Then drug discovery, bioinformatics, clinical studies. In clinical studies, all these 4 stages of clinical trials are conducted. Before a drug comes into market, it has to go through clinical studies or clinical trials. There are 4 stages in clinical trials: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4. Once the drug is passed through these different clinical trials, only then the drug is eligible to be approved by the drug control authorities for marketing purpose. So this is very important. Clinical trials are conducted by CROs. These clinical trials is a very tedious process. It's a time-taking process. For a drug molecule to come into market, it takes from 10 to 15 years, and about 800 millions US dollars are spent on this. So it's a costly affair. So in this way, and then IPR is there, intellectual property right. You can become a IPR consultant as well. So these are emerging opportunities. Apart from these, in all these developed countries, US, Canada, Australia, they have got different specialized courses. So oncology pharmacy is there, geriatric pharmacy is there, pediatric pharmacy is there. So in those countries, pharmacy is in very advanced stage. So in those countries, actually, the power of a clinical pharmacist is more than a physician even. The physician's prescription will go to clinical pharmacist for its approval and for its analysis. Once the clinical pharmacist is approved it, only then the drug will be prescribed to the patient. Then these are pharmacy dimensions. These are dimensions we studied in the previous slide: manufacturing drugs, drug regulatory affairs, research and development, drug control administration, clinical research, QA, QC. In pharmaceutical company, the role of QA and QC is to ensure that whatever drug is being manufactured, the drug which is being produced, is good in quality, it is safe and efficacious. So sales and marketing. So these are different dimensions of pharmacy profession. So through these slides, I am trying to impress upon your mind that pharmacy scope is huge. Pharmacy is one of the best profession in all aspects. Pharmacy is one of the most respected profession. The scope of pharmacy is unlimited. Now, these are the top pharmaceutical companies which are working in India. These are multinational companies which are working in India because of these policies, good policies of India, flexible policies in India. These companies have their base in India as well. Pfizer, Glaxo, Sanofi, Johnson, Merck. These are top pharmaceutical companies globally. Then we have these Indian companies, Alembic, Sun Pharmaceuticals. This Sun Pharmaceutical company is the #1 company in India and among the top 20 companies worldwide. This Zydus Cadila, Dr. Reddy's, Cipla, these are Indian companies, and they have become multinational companies now because they have their base in other companies also. They are exporting drugs to other countries as well. Then the scope of pharmacy. So through this slide, through this presentation, I'm trying to explain to you what is the responsibilities of a pharmacist, what are the roles of pharmacist, and what is the scope of pharmacy. In pharmacy, what we do, because common people is not aware. People are not aware that what pharmacy actually is. So I'm trying to explain through these slides the unlimited role or expert role or the very highly skilled or technical role of a pharmacist. This is computer aided drug design. Through computer aided, drugs are designed with the help of computer, with the help of the different softwares. So different molecules are combined, different the existing structures are changed by adding different functional groups. Then accordingly, and the advantage of this computer aided drug design is this is cost saving, because otherwise if you will design the drugs, it's a long process once we come to the final lead molecule. But in computer aided drug design, it is inexpensive. Then there is medicinal chemistry. As we studied, there are 4 pillars of pharmacy. This medicinal chemistry, through this medicinal chemistry, starts the drug development process. It drug designing role. So you can see here we have our benzene ring. Okay, these are honeybees, they prepare this. Okay, then this benzene structure was actually discovered through this. Okay, so in medicinal chemistry, we combine different chemicals, like we see all these drugs, acetyl salicylic acid, aspirin, paracetamol, these different drugs which we are using. They first were synthesized in medicinal chemistry, then they got shape in this pharmaceutics department. So these first things start from medicinal chemistry, drug discovery, and drug designing. Then drugs from natural sources. This is the part of pharmacognosy and phytochemistry. We have a rich flora of medicinal plants in India and globally as well. And we know since ancient times, people were dependent on the use of these herbal drugs for the treatment of different ailments. Man has been using drugs since ancient times, since time immemorial. We know that since the beginning, people are using different plants in natural form, maybe cinchona bar, maybe ashwagandha, maybe any other thing. You can digitalis leaves, So all these plants now they are being utilized for the synthesis of the drug, for the discovery of the drugs in synthetic form. So the extracts are taken, then active compounds are isolated. Through these active compounds, we are able to develop different types of drug. Even anti-cancer drug, paclitaxel, doxorubicin, digoxin, digoxin comes from digitalis, and digoxin is a heart tonic, it is cardiotonic. So a number of drugs, a morphine example is written here already. It comes from poppy plant. So you see in all the chapters, in all these different sections, you will see. So whether you go GIT track, you see respiratory track, everywhere you will find the use of natural resources for the development of drugs. So this is an important part because we know that drugs are already being used in ancient times. And Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, Hippocrates is father of modern medicine. And Hippocrates, you will be happy to know that he advocated the use of herbal medicine, and he used to prescribe and dispense his own medicine, right? So then morphine from opium. Then next, scope of pharmacy. Now, preclinical studies, in vitro, in vivo, in silico. Okay, through in vitro means on outside the human bodies, in vitro, outside the animals or human body, outside living things is in vitro. And when any drug is taken inside, the research conducted on living objects is in vivo. In silico is computer based studies. So initially what happens is, whenever we are going to develop any new drug, we directly cannot test it on humans. So initially we perform preclinical studies. So studies on animals, generally on animals. So here rats are utilized, mouse, rats, then obviously dogs are there, monkeys are there. So all these animals are utilized for performing screening screening assays. So any lead molecule, any drug which is synthesized in the medicinal chemistry through drug development process is tested for its efficacy and safety on animals. Once it is approved that it is effective and is free from toxic effects on animals, then after that the drug goes to clinical trials. So these are drug development phases, drug development process. So these are important studies, and all these things are studied in all these courses: B.Pharm, M.Pharm, PhD. Then scope of pharmacy we are continuously discussing. In the last slide, we saw about preclinical studies. Now in this slide, this is about clinical studies. So in clinical studies, these are clinical trials. Once a drug, which is a newly developed molecule, it's free from toxic effects, it's free from adverse effect, and is therapeutically effective as well for a particular disease for which it is being invented or discovered, then it is the time for clinical trials. So before clinical trials, the permission is granted from CDSCO, Center Drug Standard Control Organization. These drug controlling or regulatory agencies will approve to conduct clinical trials. So this is a very long process, very hectic process. It's a very complicated process. So because once this clinical trial is approved, the drug is approved after a third phase of the clinical trials, ANDs, then there is a new drug application is there. Okay. Then after new drug application, if it is approved, then the drug will come into market. So this clinical studies, phase one, small number of, so this is conducted on humans. Clinical studies or clinical trials are conducted on humans. In phase one, only 20 to 50 patients are there, or maybe healthy volunteers are there. In phase two, more patients or volunteers, 200. So in these different stages of clinical trials, the pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynamics of the drugs are studied, and once it is found that drug is 100% safe and effective, only then the permission is granted to market the drug. So it's a long process. It is conducted on humans. Then production of drugs. This is, in my way, it is the soul of pharmacy. Because ultimately these are the drugs which are going to save the life of the patient, and these drugs are produced in the pharmaceutics department only, and these drugs are produced only in the manufacturing units. In the pharmaceutical company, there is production department. Very important, most important department of the pharmaceutical industry is production department. So in the production department, different drugs, different tablets, capsules, injections, liquids, all these drugs are produced by different processes. So this is called as soul of pharmacy. Then you have drug analysis. Drugs are being during QA and QC. Through QA and QC, drugs are being analyzed whether the drugs which are manufactured are safe and efficacious. Then now in this subsequent slide, I am trying to show you what is the scope after doing M.Pharm, because generally people are not aware that what to do M.Pharm, whether there is any need to do M.Pharm. Yes, I will reckon that there is a need to do M.Pharm, because knowledge commands respect. So once you have knowledge, you will be respected in the society, and you can contribute to the society. How you can contribute? You can, through drug discovery process, you can contribute to the society. Even I have seen many persons who have got their community pharmacy shop and they have done M.Pharm. So once you are M.Pharm and you have your community pharmacy shop, you can nicely and brilliantly guide the patients about medication, correct use of the medication. You can read the prescription, you can analyze the prescription nicely. So even after doing M.Pharm, you can go for community pharmacy, no issue. And the scope is further expanded after doing M.Pharm. Like these are the 4 important branches where you can do M.Pharm. And quality assurance, quality control, there are other branches as well. So after doing M.Pharm in pharmaceutical chemistry or pharmacology or pharmacology, you can be adopted in pharmaceutical company, and you can go in QA, QC, R&D department. And after doing M.Pharm, you can go in academics as well. So these are job opportunities after M.Pharm. This is in pharmaceutical industry. You can become research associate. Then so you can be engaged in drug discovery and drug development process. You can be engaged in QA QC as well. So in pharmaceutical industry you will be respected, and once your qualification higher, you will be preferred candidate for the job. Then job opportunities in academics, as we are, so there are so many pharmacy institutions. There are around 2000 pharmacy institutions in India imparting education at undergraduate and postgraduate level. So there are diploma courses, there are B.Pharm courses, and there are M.Pharm courses. Okay, so in different colleges there are different programs, pharmacy programs and different courses. So after doing M.Pharm, you will become assistant professor, then you will be promoted to associate professor, and finally if you have done in the meantime, once you join as assistant professor, so while doing in the job, while remaining in the job, you can do your PhD course also. So you will be in job also, and you will do your PhD course also within 3 years. And once you complete your PhD course, you will be designated as associate professor. So once you become associate professor, you will get a good jump in the salary, and you will get so many opportunities also to do research on drugs. Then after gaining experience of 5 years of experience after doing associate professor, you will be promoted to professor. So for this associate professor, PhD is a must nowadays. So again, you have got very good salary in academics as well. Indian pharma market, if you see, it is a very encouraging slide. You will feel motivated to see this slide. See, India is the biggest, largest provider of generic drugs globally. Indian pharmaceutical sector supplies over 50% of global demand for various vaccines. So you see, this is very encouraging point. So pharmaceutical sector supplies over 50% of global demand for various vaccines. This is very encouraging, very important news. So very impressive figure. So there is every reason to smile. Now 40% of generic demand in the US and 25% of all medicines in the UK. So this is very important figure, very important data. Now, Indian pharmaceutical sector is expected to grow to US $100 billion, while medical device market is expected to grow US $25 billion by 2025. Then pharmaceuticals export from India stood at US billion dollar to $20.7 billion in financial year 2020. Pharmaceutical export includes bulk drugs, intermediates, drug formulations, biologicals, Ayush, and herbal products. Now, through this, at this point of time, I am glad to share here that India ranks third in terms of volume of the drugs share at the world level globally. Globally, India ranks at number 3 position in respect of drug markets. World market share in terms of volume in India is in terms, so it is at third rank, and in terms of value, it is at 13th rank. So this is a very impressive figure. India is doing quite well. So how India is able to do quite well? Because of you people, because of the fellow pharmacists. They are well skilled. They are dedicated to their profession. So as a result, they are highly motivated. They are highly skilled. So technically they are very sound. So as a result, they are able to contribute a lot to the society at the global level. India's biotechnology industry, comprising biopharmaceuticals, bioservices, bioagriculture, bioindustry, and bioinformatics, is expected to grow at an average growth rate of around 30% year on year to reach US $100 billion by 2025. So these are important figures. So India has the advantage of cost efficiency, economic drivers, policy support we are getting. So Indian labor policy, the policy by Honorable Prime Minister has been liberalized, and as a result, there are increasing foreign investments. Now, these are pharmaceuticals. Let us see what's the revenue of Indian pharmaceutical sector. So in 2015, it was $15.53 billion. And now in 2019, it is 20.83 US billion dollars. So within a span of 4 years, 25% increase is there in revenue generation. This is again an encouraging news for pharmacists. Now, top segments in Indian pharmaceutical market in 2018. So these are important categories where these are top segments for Indian market: anti-infectives, cardiac, gastrointestinal, anti-diabetic, vitamins, respiratory, pain, analgesics, dermatology, neuro, gynecological. So these are different sectors. Then pharmaceutical export from India in financial year, there was an export of $16.89 billion. And now in 2020, there is 20.70 US billion dollars. Now government expenditure on health in India. So government expenditure in financial year 2016 was $23.58 billion, and in financial year 2020 it is 45.96. So there are, so due to these liberal policies, the government is very much in favor of increasing expenditure on health, and as a result, within these 4 years there is double expenditure on government side in health sector. Then a role of pharmacist, hospital pharmacist. This is in general the role of hospital pharmacist. Once you are employed as a hospital pharmacist, then you have to play these roles, and you should play these roles happily. Your medicine management during this COVID-19 period, all our dedicated COVID warriors, COVID pharmacist warriors, they were able to maintain the supply chain. They were able to maintain the quality medicines for the treatment of these COVID patients, and it is a rich source of information. All these health related informations are available with hospital pharmacists. Then he plays an important role in health promotion of the society by participating in different health camps in different community regions. Then patient counseling is again an important part of hospital pharmacist, dispensing of drugs, preparations, formulations. So small scale manufacturing also takes place in the hospital. Then storage of medicines, this is again a very important aspect, how to store these medicines and how much medicines should be stored, and maintenance of the inventory in all the departments of the hospital. This is an important part of central storekeeper. The central store in charge is a pharmacist who is responsible for maintaining the stock of all these medicines, who is responsible for proper storage of these medicines. Then he is part of all these national health programs which are conducted across the country. So these are very important roles of hospital pharmacist. Then clinical pharmacist. Clinical pharmacist role is further refined one. After doing PharmD course, a pharmacist can become clinical pharmacist. Clinical pharmacist role is therapeutic drug monitoring. Once a drug is being administered to a patient, then for all 24 hours he will monitor the actions of the drug. He will also monitor the pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics of the drug. Then he will ensure the rational use of the drug. The drugs which are being used are being correctly used by the patient or not. ADR detection and prevention is again an important role of clinical pharmacist. He will decide about the dosing as well. He will advise the doctor based on the symptoms, based on the therapeutic drug monitoring aspect. He will decide that this much dose is to be given now, what is loading dose, what is maintenance dose. Then taking medication history. So once the admission patient is admitted in a hospital, he will take the medication history also, what medicines were previously used, and then during the hospital also he will take medication history and he will take feedback from the patients. Then he will be involved in ward rounds as well. When during physicians, he will involve in ward rounds along with physicians, doctors, specialists. He will consult, he will advise them, he will give them all the report of the patient, and he will also advise the physician. So the role of clinical pharmacist is very, very important in the current scenario, reducing drug interactions, providing drug information. So after doing M.Pharm, you can become clinical pharmacist. Even after doing M.Pharm in pharmacology, you can become clinical pharmacist. The role of clinical pharmacist is in India in previous time was not so much developed. Now this role is being recognized, and due to changing policies of the government, most of the big hospitals are now deputing or appointing clinical pharmacists there. Then contribution of India in COVID-19 period. This is in brief about major work which the India has done. So we all know that India has exported 50 million hydroxychloroquine tablets to US for COVID-19 fight. This is a great achievement of India. This is a great achievement of Indian pharmacist. So the credit, obviously, as was mentioned by Atul Nasaji, that credit for all these things should go to our Indian, these dedicated pharmacists who are working day and night to discover new medicines. Then Zydus Cadila is going to apply for phase 3 trials in December 2020 for vaccines. India exports drugs and medical devices to 133 countries. This is again a very important news for us, as we are exporting drugs to 133 countries. So that's why. So India is pharmacy of the world. Mr. Atul Nasaji mentioned that India is pharmacy of the world. Yes, due to these reasons, we can say that India is pharmacy of the world. Now, Glenmark announces top-line results from phase 3 trials on remdesivir. Then Bharat Biotech, Zydus, Panacea Biotech, Indian Immunologicals, Minvax, and Biological Evans, they are working on coronavirus vaccines. Then India also won the election to the United Nations Security Council as non-permanent member based on its performance, its dedicated services, based on the dedicated services rendered by our Indian pharmacists. And India is pharmacy of the world. Yes, we can say that India is pharmacy of the world. An academician. So these are the persons I have mentioned about two persons, two luminaries of the profession, so that you can feel motivated. This is Raman Bhai B. Patel. He was an academician who became industrialist and established the Ahmedabad-based pharmaceutical company, Kerala Healthcare. We all know these are pharma giants in India. He started his career as a lecturer in LM College of Pharmacy. So he's a pharmacist. He was a pharmacist. So, and it is fifth largest pharmaceutical company in India. So it has got employees, 11,000 employees there. So there are many pharmacy graduates who have ventured to earn name and fame through starting these pharmaceutical companies and achieving dizzy heights. And this is a person, this is highly motivation figure, highly inspiring figure, CEO of Sun Pharma. We know that currently Sun Pharma is the #1 pharmaceutical company in India. So Mr. Dilip Sanghvi is the founder of Sun Pharmaceutical Industries. He has extensive industrial experience in pharmaceutical industry. He has won, and he has recently has been awarded with Padma Shri Award, and he was chairman of the Indian Pharmaceutical Congress, 65th Indian Pharmaceutical Congress. He was chairman. So he's very down to earth. Initially, he had nothing, but he's so we can say he's a self-made man. He's a self-made man, and he's among the 8 most powerful Indian personalities. So that's all about my presentation. Thank you so much, dear friends. And here it is my email ID, satishtipsar55@gmail.com. If you have any query, you can contact me, you can mail me, and I will be happy to reply your query. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for sharing this treasure with us. I would only say we have to acknowledge the importance of pharmacists in the society as if no pharmacists, then no medicine, and if no medicine, then no Swasth Bharat. By ending of this program, I am feeling grateful to be beholden to our Honorable Nasaji for extracting his precious time for us. And I also feel indebted to Professor Dr. Satish Kumar Sharma sir for his so much effort and support all through this webinar. Thank you, sir, for being a great example of leadership to me. I would
Thank you.
like to thank, yes, sir. I would like to thank Mr. Pankaj Bhatt also. And at last but not least, I appreciate all of you for your involvement in this program and for being the most patient listeners. Sir, in the chat box, everyone is thanking.
Oh,
Every viewer
thank
is
you all.
thanking.
Thanks to all. Thanks to all. Thanks to all. And thanks to
Yes,
you,
sir.
Srutuji, for wonderfully
Yes, sir.
anchoring this program. And thank you, Pankajji and Tejinder who are working behind the
Yes,
screen
sir.
to
Yes,
bring
sir.
this wonderful show. Thank you all. Thank you.
I also want to thank Ms. Tejinder Kaur. Okay, sir. Once again, a very sincere thank to each one of you present here. Thank you so much.